Hi, and welcome back to Resplendent Daughter Ministries. I have two sons, ages 20 and 22. And last November, in the early part of the month, they experienced a sudden and tremendous loss of one of their schoolmates. 22 years old, handsome, smart, good-hearted, a Christian young man with he had a girlfriend of about 5 years, and they were looking forward to getting married when they finished school. Had his whole life before him. And that morning he was alive with us on this earth, and that evening he had died. Massive heart attack. Sudden death. What are we supposed to do with that? The Christian response at times tends toward the philosophical, whereupon we hear or spout such platitudes as, well, it was just his time to go. Well, God is in control, etc. And non-Christians look at us as though we have three heads. And why should they not? Because when we say things like that, our theology has eclipsed our humanity. Theology, even good theology, is no cure for the broken heart of a loved one or close friend who cries out from the depths of their being in such times of horrendous loss, "How can I now go on?" It is very, very easy to believe in God and to believe God when things are rosy, when your children are safe and healthy, when things are great all around. But when they're not, we humans generally choose one of two paths. We either run to God for the supernatural comfort that only He can give, or we harden our hearts against Him because of our deep, deep pain, and we walk away. It's never harder to turn to God than when we're in our pain, because at some level, we all have to deal with the temptation to blame Him for what happened. Our limited minds are just unable to make sense of it. As Martha and Mary said to Jesus, who arrived just a few days after their brother had been laid in the tomb, "Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died," they said. We too are prone to question, like those who gathered around Lazarus's tomb, while Jesus stood there and wept. He wept with those He loved. John 11:36 and 37 said, "See how He loved him." But some said, "Could not He who opened the eyes of the blind man also have kept this man from dying?" In our current study of Hebrews, we see the negative example of the Hebrew people given in chapters 3 and 4, when times turned very ugly for them after leaving Egypt. They questioned God and turned away from Him in unbelief. With every hardship, their hearts became harder against God until finally He just removed His hand of blessing from them. What does God long to do in our times of pain? Does He long to punish us by pushing us away? No. He longs to gather us to Himself, where He can pour out the miraculous comfort that only He is capable of giving. Like when Lazarus died, He knows our pain and He weeps with us. The only bit of theology that he imparted on that sorrowful occasion was this beautiful promise. When he said to one of Lazarus' sisters, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? As his children, Christians, we're the only Jesus that an unbelieving world sees. No one wants to hear sanctimonious words of false comfort or theological platitudes in a time of unimaginable pain. What is needed is for his true children to represent him as he would if he were still here on earth, instead of sitting at God's right hand, where he's praying for us, interceding for his children every moment. What is needed is for us to live out Romans 12:15, which says, weep with those who weep. I love the Psalm 39:12, that expresses it so well. The cry of the broken heart. Hear my prayer, O Lord. Listen to my cry for help. Do not ignore my sobbing, for I am dependent on you, like one residing outside his native land. Let's be the only Jesus an unbelieving world will ever see. And most especially, let's be that when times of pain and loss and devastation are the greatest.